Like, you do need green to cast Birds of Paradise, obviously, but it taps for anything. So you can put it in just about anything as long as it's at least splashing green. They've dialed it back and made the, Utopia tree variant Sylvan Caryatid. And I think they're going to keep it like that. Because 1 mana acceleration is just super, super good. And
we saw things like Honored Hierarch where it can tap for any color, but it's got to do some stuff first.
yeah, you can't tap it until turn 3, so that by itself makes it almost just unplayable as far as a reliable mana accelerant.
Okay.
Rattleclaw Mystic still exists, but we'll see. We'll see.
Rattleclaw only taps for Teamer, right?
Yep.
Yeah. He's got his fun little morph shenanigans. Ooh, Tide Hollow.
All right, so we're just going to pick apart Jordan's hand. Ooh, drew a Voice of Resurgence.
What are you going for here? This is your Sculler.
I think I take the Lingering Souls.
Yeah.
Lingering Souls is the only one that kind of...
He's got, maybe he's got some discarding the Lingering Souls doesn't do much, but exiling it is way better.
No, yeah, but the thing is, Lingering Souls is fighting Jonathan on a front that he is fighting on.
Yeah.
See, and he drew a Lingering Souls.
Yep.
Just like we drew it up.
We saw John before just take over the skies with his 3/3s.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, John just wants to go wide, so he doesn't really care about Jordan having 1 or 2 just like big creatures on the ground as long as he can go wide in the air.
Mm-hmm.
But now that Jordan has this Lingering Souls, and as soon as he draws a removal spell, a second Lingering Souls, he's putting Jonathan under a lot of pressure to be able to find something.
Kraken's Fetch going to 17. We're probably going to see Flashback Lingering Souls next turn, where you save it later. You still got that Siege Runner that can come down next turn if you get
I think it's fine to... If you don't draw a removal spell, I think it's fine to Flashback Lingering Souls, because what you're trying to do is set up a board state where all you have to do for the rest of the game is just push the Gavany Township button and just win on the back of that. Like, the Siege Rhino is fine, but it's not anything like to write home about. Like I said, Jonathan's not really worried about you having 1 or 2 just big ground fatties.
Though the 4-power Wolf Trample is a little relevant until he gets a couple of those Lords out. Or, excuse me, Anthems.
Sure. I mean, there's no way Jordan could know this, but Jonathan's hand is also just like... I believe that's 2 Path to Exiles.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Looks like we are going to see the Rhino here for Jordan.
Yeah. So that'll swing life totals a little bit. We have Jordan at 23 to Jonathan's 13.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like he fetched up a Godless Shrine. That would have to come on tap, so he's probably going to be at 21. He also fetched there. Yep.
All right, so let's see what Jonathan's going to do about this big ol' rhinoceros on the table.
Yeah, this is not something he can just chump block. 4-power of Trample gets through.
Yeah, also, I actually like this play from Jordan for the same reason that the Lingering Souls play is still fine. He can just pump up his Siege Rhino and make it swing past the tokens no matter what, like how many Anthems Jonathan has in play.
Yeah, because he gets a land here, and then he's activating that Gavany Township.
Yeah, I believe he has a land in his hand. So Jonathan has a Bitter Blossom. Oh, he actually has 2 lands in hand. So Jonathan's flooding out a little bit.
Plains, Bitter Blossom. Looks like he's just going to go ahead and... A Flashback Lingering Souls.
Yeah. We're going to run out of Spirit tokens. Thank God for Jordan bringing his. I believe that is a Natu from Pokemon. Jordan has always been a big fan of the using Pokemon cards as tokens. Been doing it for years. Classy gentleman.
I see a lot of Dratinis as the Monastery Men.
Mm-hmm. So let's see if Jordan decides to add to his board before hitting the Gavany button, or just starting to. I mean, the attacks are, well, at least with the Siege Rhino, is pretty much free. Like, Jonathan would have to put everything he has in front of it, and then Jordan just gets back a Lingering Souls, which he's not worried about.
Looks like he's just going to take the 4, go to 9. We're going to see Abrupt Decay, Bitter Blossom.
And a flashback of the Lingering Souls.
Yeah. Jordan is in a very good position right here.
All right, so, I mean, Jordan has assembled quite a force here to start activating Gavany Township with. We'll see if Jonathan can draw anything to draw out of it. Looks like he just drew another land.
Gavany Township again, from the same cycle as Vault of the Archangel, the 2-color utility lands, all from the Innistrad block. Oh, it looks like we're going all in here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He now can activate Gavany Township, so there's no reason not to. There's zero good blocks.
There's nothing subtle about this swing.
No, Jonathan can put his spirits in front of Jordan's to soak up some damage, but yeah, Jonathan looks like he's in rough shape unless he can draw something. Yeah, he's just going to scoop him up. He's seen enough. All right, so we have Jordan Summers playing Junk up a game over Jonathan playing Black-White Tokens. So what do you think needs to come in from Jonathan's sideboard, Brad?
Well, I'm not too certain what he's running here. He needs a way, like we said before, Jordan is fighting him in the skies with those Lingering Souls. And he's the ability to make those spirits even bigger with Gavany Township. He needs something that is going to answer his flyers, but leave his own up. So something like a board wipe isn't necessarily going to be best for him, although I believe Jonathan has the ability to repopulate the skies way faster, thanks with Spectral Procession. He's already running the path to deal with things like Siege Rhino, just easy removal. What was it? We saw earlier. He was running the Knight that made all of his creatures have -1/-1. But it's only one-sided. Hitting something like that, there's a curse in Innistrad for 5 mana, does a similar effect. I've seen those in some Black-White token sideboards before. Basically, things that are only hitting Jordan's flyers, not his, are going to be very strong.
So I saw, while Jordan was flipping through his sideboard, I saw him flip past a Golgari Charm, which seems very, very good in this matchup. I believe he has 3 of them. He also has Qasali Pride Mages in his sideboard, which also seem good to get rid of the multitude of enchantments that Jonathan's bringing to the table to either pump his team or just make more guys.
Yeah, Golgari Charm, trade all your spirits, regenerate your team.
Yeah, or if you don't have spirits, you can just give all creatures -1/-1 to wipe Jonathan's board. It's a 2-mana instant speed sweeper, so you can do it in response to him casting like an Intangible Virtue or something. Yeah. It seems very good in this matchup.
Yeah, Golgari Charm was very interesting because when it first came out in Return to Ravnica, a lot of people really didn't like it. They thought it was unplayable. They didn't think it was great. And it didn't see a lot of standard play until later on, but even from the get-go, I think Modern picked up on it real quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a very powerful card. It also saw a fair amount of legacy play when it first came out. It was very good in the Sultai Delver decks. It gives them, the -1/-1 option in case things get out of hand with Delver of Secrets or, Empty the Warrens from the Storm deck, or it just has a lot of versatility.
Like you said before, instant speed, board wipe is very strong.
It's also very good against the Splinter Twin deck because you always pick the -1/-1 mode, and no matter like you do it when they swing in with all their infinite tokens, and it either kills all the Pestilence
or it makes all of the Deceiver Exarchs blank. I've always been a fan of the Rakdos charm into the infinite swing, where the mode where each creature does 1 damage to its own controller. So when they swing in with you with infinite dudes, they instead take the infinite.
Take millions. All right, so it looks like players are finishing shuffling up here.
That whole charm cycle was quite fun.
Oh yeah. All the charms were decent and saw, maybe not all, but most saw a fair amount of constructed play. Azorius charm was very good in the blue-white control decks and standard. Is it charm is still around in modern and also in legacy.
I'm a big fan of my Is It charm in my Niv Mizzet commander deck.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it charm is one of my favorites too. Just the versatility of it is incredible. Being a spell pierce and a removal spell, or also a faithless looting if you're playing a combo deck, is awesome. Trying to think if any of the Selesnya charm saw a fair amount of play in standard in the green-white punch in the face deck.
Yeah, it was great removal because most of the things that it lost to were big dudes to get through the populate, and then so exile 5-power creature, I believe, as well as just the instant speed make a 2/2 Vigilance Knight.
Well, I played this green-white punch you in the face deck, and a lot of times I just gave it the good old +2/+2 trample, and it was marvelous. Killed many people with Silverblade Paladin, Loxodon Smiter, and that card. All right, so it looks like players are going over their 7, see if they want them. It looks like Jordan's going to 6.
Yeah, looks like Jonathan's got another Tide Hollow. Spectral Procession. I believe that was a Vault of the Archangel.
I believe I see one in his hand, yeah. I think Jordan's really looking for a setup similar to what he had last game. He needs some early acceleration to get his Lingering Souls in play to counteract what Jonathan's doing and make it so Jonathan can't kind of peck his life total down. And then he just needs to fend off Jonathan's bigger creatures like Hero Bladehold or whatever with removal spells, or just, like we said, wipe his board with Golgari Charm. Jordan is definitely the control deck here.
Mm-hmm.
And Jonathan's just trying to get in, around, or underneath all his removal spells to close out the game as fast as he can.
We've seen a lot of these decks, since Bitter Blossom got unbanned, have popped back up. But Bitter Blossom doesn't seem that strong late game. It really feels like you need to drop it early.
Yeah, Bitter Blossom, that's the problem with Bitter Blossom. When you're not talking about a fairies deck that kind of wants it just to be another fairy permanent, Bitter Blossom any turn after turn 2 has, like, diminishing returns bad. Like, Bitter Blossom on 3 is medium. Bitter Blossom on 4+ is just, at this point, not good anymore.
And there's a Thoughtseize.
Jonathan's going to take approximate million to cast a Thoughtseize on turn 1. While it's modern format, everyone pretty much starts at 13 life.
Now let's see if he goes for the Smiter.
Ooh. Well, I know what he's not picking. That's a lot of Loxodon Smiters.
This big creature seems good. Let's get that out of your hand. Once again, Loxodon Smiter has the text that if this card is discarded, it comes into play instead.
Oh yeah, it's great. And of course, Jordan drew the turn 1 mana guy right off the top after getting his birds taken. Ooh, Timely Reinforcements was a draw from Jonathan.
Looks like we're gonna crack a Flooded Strand.
Oh yeah, go get a Tidehull Sculler.
Yeah. Fetching basic planes here? Yeah. Yeah, he's got to get those white sources fast and ready for those spectral possessions. You want to be casting that for 3 white, not for any other 2 colorless hybrid.
I mean, mana is good enough in modern. You shouldn't have a problem with it. Of course, I say that, and Jordan has only green lands in his hand in his 3-color deck, but thankfully Noble Hierarch kind of fixes those problems for you.
I believe that is a foil snow-covered forest, so it almost taps for other colors.
My mistake. Oh, there's the Loxodon Smiter from Jordan. See, I summoned the Loxodon Smiter. I started talking about him.
4/4.
Yes, 4/4 for 3.
4/4 with 3.
All right, looks like Jonathan's fetching for another plains here.
Yep.
See if they cast Spectral Procession.
With the Exalted trigger on that Smiter, it's gonna bash in for some numbers.
Oh yeah, Loxodon Smiter is a large elephant.
Ooh, timely. He is both down on life and creatures. I really like this timely here.
Oh yeah, put a few chump blockers in play.
3 soldiers and 6 life.
And just gain all that life that you took off with all your mana base and Thought Seizes. All right, looks like Jordan drew a land. Windswept Heath, I believe. And let's see if he continues the Elephant Parade or goes for another line. I mean, he can still swing with this Loxodon Smiter here. It is pretty free. Like, Jonathan could throw every creature he has in front of it, but Jordan is not sad if that happens.
So if you're playing junk, you have access to Thought Seizes. Is there a time when you're considering to blast yourself to discard that Smiter for a single black?
Well, that's not how Smiter works. Smiter says if an opponent...
Oh, is it opponent?
Yes.
Oh, my mistake.
All the cards that say if it would be discarded by an effect, they say an opponent's effect because they don't want you to do that.
Don't want you to.
It's also why you can't give it the good old Liliana of the Veil Loxodon Smiter combo deck. It looks like Jonathan has another timely in his hand, I believe.
Crack a fetch, play the timely, get the double value.
Oh no, it's a Spectral Procession. I believe that is the dual deck art. Yes. Yep, just a chump block on Smiter. Don't want to take 5 to the face. I like this from Jonathan because he's about to have a Air Force, and then he's able to maybe not race the Loxodon Smiters, but at least get a little aggressive while chump blocking on the ground.
Yeah, that was the Sorin versus Tybalt dual deck, where Spectre Possession got that new facelift.
I like the new art on it.
And yeah, we're going to see the procession here.
Just a bunch of Jacob Wilson tokens in play. Just a ton of free advertising for Star City. You can send us our check in the mail.
Yeah. If only we had some sort of big Star City event coming up.
Yeah, if only. No, we're all very excited. We're going to be playing a ton of Standard. It's going to be sweet this upcoming Saturday at Santa Fe Mall right across the street. Come down for Star City Regionals.
Is there any deck you're hoping to see do well at the regionals?
Well, considering I am doing coverage, I hope to not see any fog decks.
I feel the opposite, but you know,
I'm fully aware. No, it's just not great to watch. It's kind of it's fun the first time, but
it's true.
People don't want to sit there and watch
someone
do nothing for 20 minutes and win a game.
It's very fun to play, but people don't like to play against it, and it gets a little boring on the air. But
I kind of want to see this Abzan Rally deck that actually an old friend of mine, Ray Todic, just won the Star City Open with yesterday. It looks sweet.
Okay. Yeah, there was 5-color Rally. They decided that Abzan Rally is a little stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. You shore up your mana base and you get a few other options as far as sideboard cards. Like they were playing Anafenza the Foremost, which is insane in the mirror. Not that I don't think that happens a tremendous amount, but it might. It just won an open.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to fetch down to 18 for Jordan here.
Jordan really just needs to draw a Gavany Township or a Lingering Souls, something to just put more and more and more pressure on Jonathan.
As a Wilt-Leaf.
Yep. Wilt-Leaf Liege.
Green creatures get +1/+1. White creatures get +1/+1.
Oh, yeah.
And it has another effect.
It has the same Loxodon Smiter effect as if an opponent makes you just...
The green-white.
Jordan's deck looks insane against Liliana of the Veil.
Yep. So those Loxodon Smiters are getting +2/+2 for their green and white. crashing in for 5 apiece. Oh, 6? 6, sorry, yes, they're base 4/4.
And I believe he is even swinging in with the Noble Hierarch, because why not?
It is green, so it is now a...
It is a 1/3.
It is 1/3.
The blocks are pretty average on it.
Looks like we're going to see 2 chumps here. Take the Hierarch to the face. A little awkward. It's a lot awkward, let's be honest.
I might have put 2 tokens in front of that Noble Hierarch. That seems like a pretty... Or, you know, a token and a Tidal's color, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Or 3 tokens. Or, you know, just take it down. Like, your tokens are worth far less than a card. And even if it's just a Noble Hierarch, it's still something.
Yeah, he's tapped out. You're not worried about tricks. You can take it out. Lose a token. Keep that. Oh.
Yeah, the only deck that really plays like decent combat tricks is Infect, and they typically do not use them to win creature combats. They usually use them when you're dead.
That 1/1 Infect becomes a 10/10.
It looks like Jonathan drew another land here, so it looks like he's getting pretty flooded in the face of all these elephants.
What's the power and toughness on the Green-White Lord again?
I believe it is a 4/4 by itself. It does not pump itself.
Right, because it's other green creatures, other white creatures. You control.
I've seen that card do some major work in Modern Masters 2 draft. Making your saplings big and healthy.
Was it Spread the Seeds or... there was some Convoke into more and more tokens.
That format was super fun. I don't know how much you drafted it, Brad, but it was a blasty blast.
A couple boxes worth.
Absolutely.
Helped run some big seal and some drafts of it at a couple conventions. It was a lot of fun.
All right, looks like John's just going to pass back. I think it was pretty free to play one of his lands here. I mean, it's not like he's going to do anything else with them. Gavany Township here would be insane for Jordan. Kitchen Finks is also not terrible.
Go ahead and gain some life.
So Jordan's back up to 20.
Now, Kitchen Finks here is just going to be a value card. You're not looking to combo out for infinite life here.
No, I think it's just in Jordan's deck because it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an all-around good value creature.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. He's going to try to multi-block down the Noble Hierarch. Oh, nope. Just kidding. I don't even mind the attack with the Wiltleaf Leech. Like, you get in so much damage if you do. And John's going to take 6 from one of these Loxodon and Smiters.
Yeah, Ooh.
A day late and a dollar short in Tangible Virtue. This does let him kind of peck at Jordan's life total, which is not the worst thing in the world, but he's going to need to draw a Path to Exile or a Dismember or something to get...
It does give Jonathan a clock. Unfortunately, Jordan's clock is a fair bit faster.
Yes, his is a clock made of elephants.
Which you would think would be slow, but not the case. Not the case at all. Oh, and there's the Lord coming in, just as you predicted. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that is the Kitchen Finks.
The 5/4 Kitchen Finks is getting in there, to the surprise of no one.
Seems fair.
Kitchen Finks was not designed to be a 5/4 for 3. That gains you 2 life and then comes back as a 4/3.
That gains you another 2 life.
Yeah, well. Can also infinite combo you out. Yeah, Jonathan's going to need to draw, like, I don't know if he has another Timely in his deck or something. He's going to have to...
Here's when we see some ridiculous, like, Day of Judgment, Wrath of God, sideboard tag that just no one's expecting.
I mean, that would be good. A Languish would also be really good here. A new one. I don't think anyone's playing that in Modern, but, hey. Especially the black-white token stuff.
That's like why it's called Next Level.
John just took 11 going down to 1.
Well,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure John's just...
He's got to have something he thinks can win here. Otherwise, you feel like he would have blocked
I mean,
better.
if he draws like a Spectral Procession or a Lingering Souls, he can chump block again. Yeah, just a whole bunch of lands.
Never fun to get flooded, but, that's Magic.
That's the game that we play, boys and girls. All right, so it looks like we have Jordan Summers winning over Jonathan, 2-0, with his sweet junk Wilt Leaf Liege combo deck.
Yeah. Team green white beats
Oh yeah,
with a little bit of black for style.
I believe the black splash is only for Thoughtseizes, Golgari Charms out of the board, and Abrupt Decay. Oh, and a
Maelstrom Pulse.
Okay.
Maelstrom Pulse, very strong.
Yeah, Maelstrom Pulse is solid in this one. Looks like he decided not to bring in the Golgari Charms, which they would have been decent that
Looks
game.
like a murderous cut.
Bunch of
Slaughter packs.
Just a whole handful of slaughter packs. Maybe
Handful
draw
of
any them.
handful of removal that stayed in the deck.
All right, guys, give us 1 sec. We're gonna go see if we can find another match for you because that one was pretty quick. But if we can't, we'll be back for round 4 shortly.
All right, we are starting round 4 here at Modern Mondays at the Wasteland.
What's up, guys? All right, so we have a pretty interesting matchup for you guys today. We have Russell McCord on the left with Infect and Jalen Gillum on the right with Grixis Twin.
Grixis Twin. Been seeing a lot of Grixis Twin lists lately. They've been doing very well. Seen them top 8 several Star City Opens.
Colligan's Command is a powerful magical card. So it actually also seems pretty good in the Infect deck. Or against the Infect deck.
Yep. Yeah, so Infect has been a deck that's been around, ever since Scars hit. People have been trying to abuse it, eke out those 10 points of poison damage. How do you feel its place in the current modern meta?
I think you never want to play Infect in any format where Twin is popular because Spellskites are going to be everywhere, and that deck is not good against Spellskite.
So, become immense, Spellskite becomes immense.
Yeah, Spellskite becomes many things.
Seems fun.
Also, it seems pretty average against, like I said, Colligan's Command, because the Infect deck plays Spellskites to let their guys dodge removal, and also all their creatures die to a shock. So the combination of them having an artifact and a bunch of little dudes makes Colligan's Command really good against them.
Yeah, you can even double up if they're animating like an Ink Moth or something.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like both players. It looks like Russell mulligan to 6, and Jalen kept his 7.
And that looks like a fetch into a tapped Watery Grave. Infect does have that potential, like turn 3, turn 2, very early burst kills with mutagenic growths and other shenanigans.
I'm sure you could, given a hand of like 4 mutagenic growths or something, but I'm pretty sure the quickest it can kill you is turn 3, which actually makes this matchup kind of interesting because Twin can obviously only kill you on turn 4 at the fastest. So
let's see, you could have turn 1 Glistener Elf, turn 2 kicked Vines is +4, isn't it? That's 5, and then 3 growths and Prey.
Like I said, but that's like a nonsensical
that's
hand that
magical Christmas land, if you will.
So an Inquisition from Jalen. Oh, well, that's a Distortion Strike. Has a blue and 1, and gives a creature +1/+0 and unblockable this turn, and also has Rebound. It's usually used to get your non-blighted agents in there.
Yeah. Blighted agent being the 1 and a blue 1/1 with Infect and unblockable.
Back when unblockable was the keyword. So Jalen has a Spell Snare in hand, so I don't think he wants to take the Distortion Strike. Yeah, probably take the Counterspell.
He's got, was it Mutagenic Growth, Vines?
No, it's Mutagenic Growth, 2 Might of Old Corrosives, and
Might of Old Corrosives, yes.
Distortion Strike. All right, Russell's going to fix his mana here. Probably going to go for another Breeding Pool. Yep. Yeah, so the Infect deck in Modern is a lot less explosive than the one in Legacy. The Legacy Infect deck can kill you on turn 2 and can pretty easily without breaking too much of a sweat. It also has like cards like Force of Will and Dazed to back up its combo kill.
Because it's not needing to run, all of its slots for the kill.
Yeah, no, Berserk does a lot of work in that deck. So let's see if Russell found a creature to start playing all these pump spells on. That is a FNM promo Glistener Elf. That is going to taste a Lightning Bolt.
No thank you, sir.
Yeah, he has... Russell can spend some of his pump spells to get it out of Lightning Bolt range. Yeah, just Might Old Corrosion and Mutagenic Growth on it. Definitely not what you want to be doing with your pump spells, but considering it's the only creature in Russell's hand and he can't actually win the game without drawing another one.
It's a 10-turn clock, technically.
He still has a might in his hand, so he can give it +4/+4. All right.
And bolt again.
Many bolts. Yeah, so Russell looks like he's in a rough spot. He already has 2 cards in hand after a mulligan, and Jalen has just stripped him of all of his resources. See, the problem with the Infect deck is similar to the problem that a bunch of ramp decks have, in which case they can draw 1/2 of what
It's a
they're
very
trying to
excited
do.
Tassiger right there.
He just came spinning. DJ Tassiger came spinning in there. But they can draw all creatures that have Infect, which is not the worst, or they can draw all the pump spells, which don't do anything.
He had to exile his whole yard for Tassie.
Yeah, it's worth it. I mean, his opponent's not doing anything.
Yeah. Tassiger's going to be slamming in there.
Like, he just needs a way to close out the game.
Could be activating possibly next turn.
Well, I don't think he wants to blind activate.
He's got nothing else to do. Maybe end a turn activate, but, leaving that mana up.
No, he's probably just going to play this Pestermite at the end of Russell's turn to...
Oh, he has Pestermite in hand?
Yeah, to put more on his clock.
Very nice.
And a Snapcaster Mage and a Remand. Yeah, Jalen's hand looks insane. It also has a Colligan's Command.
And there's the remand on the Blighted Agent. I'll draw a card. Oh, yeah. Let's make sure that goes to the proper zone. I think he's just really excited here because this seems like a very ideal situation for him. He's in a great place to control. He's got, realistically, 2 turn clock. He's probably going to get another bolt in here. And Snapcaster Mage in a turn. And he's just going to pick it up. Yep.
Yeah, so we see, like I was talking about, some of the problems with the Infect deck. In which case, if you strip, it's also very vulnerable to cards like Thoughtseize. Because if you strip 1/2 of their, combo, then they can't really do anything.
A fistful of pump spells does nothing with no creatures in play.
So we might see Russell bring in, I believe it is Wild Defiance.
Which is whenever your creature is targeted, it gets
+3/+3.
+3/+3. And that's by either player. So he can use his opponent's removal to just make his dudes huge. So it basically blanks the lightning bolts.
Also, if you ever have 2 Spell Skites and a Wild Defiance, you can kill someone very easily. Because you keep redirecting it, keep getting triggers on Wild Defiance, and then just beat them to death with
because whenever it
giant
becomes
Spell Skites.
targeted.
Jalen's probably just going to bring in more... He's going to take out some of the more expensive cards, like Cryptic Command, maybe one of his Delve threats. Yeah, bring in Spell Skites, bring in more cheap interaction. Any extra bolts or forked bolts or anything that aren't in the main deck are definitely going to be in there now. Electrolyze is also very good. The Infect deck has a ton of X1s, so things like Electrolyze, Forked Bolt, Golgari Charm, like we saw in the last match.
Yeah, because we saw the Glistener Elf, we saw the Blighted Agent, we talked about a Ink Moth Nexus. What other kind of creatures are you expecting out of this Infect deck?
I mean, that's really all they have. They have, like you said, the Glistener, the Blighted Agent, the Nexus. They also run Noble Hierarchs. I've definitely seen people kill somebody with regular damage in an Infect deck just because they have so many pump spells. But it's obviously way harder to pump your guy to 20 than pump your guy to 10. So.
Cool. So we saw the Pestermite of the twin combo there. Do we know if this list is also running the Kiki Jiki?
I don't think so. I don't think any of these decks run Kiki Jiki anymore. Mostly he's just too slow. The last time I saw Kiki Jiki get played was the Kiki Pod deck right before Whirling Pod got banned.
We were able to fetch him up. Once again, Twin, the name comes from Splinter Twin, a 4-mana enchantment from Zendikar block. It's 2 double red, and it gives enchanted creature ability to tap, put a copy of this creature into play. Pestermite is a 3-mana flash fairy, 2/1 flyer, that says when it comes into play, you may tap or untap a permanent. And so the combo is, of course, you put the Deceiver Exarch is another card that fills that same role. You put the twin on one of these tap or untappers. You tap it, it comes with a new copy. You untap the original. You tap, put a new copy, untap the original. All of the copies from Twin have haste. This basically makes you infinite Creatures, all of haste, you swing in for infinite, does work.
Millions and millions of damages.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jalen showed... He didn't show him the Pestermite. He played a Snapcaster. So Russell might not know whether he's on the Grixis Delver deck or the Grixis Twin deck or more of a control-y deck.
Those decks share a lot of their main board.
Yeah, really their threats are what's different. And the thing is, the only threat he really played was Tassiger, which goes in just about all those decks.
Tasker is definitely one of the premier cards out of the cons block.
Oh, yeah.
See and play in all formats.
I mean, ever since it was printed in Fate Reforged, it has seen a ton of play in Modern, Standard, you name it. People were playing it in Legacy. I mean, I think they changed to Hooting Mandrills because that's somehow better. Not really sure. They were playing it instead of Wild Mongoose in the Rug decks for a little bit.
Hooting Mandrills, Gurmag Angler, Hootie and the Blowfish, as I like to call it.
Yes. All them blowfishes. All right, looks like players are done shuffling, looking at their 7. Jalen's hand looks good. I see lands and spells, which is definitely a start. Oh, looks like both players are going to keep 7, and now we're going to get a better look at Jalen's hand.
And there's the telltale sign that says Twin Deck, Deceiver Exarch. Scalding Tarn, Polluted Delta, Snappy, Tassiger, Deceiver Exarch, and Kolaghan's Commands.
Alright, so Russell's going to have to play around this Kolaghan's Command, but it shouldn't be too hard. All he has to do is essentially just bait it out. Oh, that Noble Hierarch was not a terrible draw. Oh, Russell only has 1 land. So the thing about this Infect deck is it can run off really, really low resources. It can usually play with just 2 or 3 lands. It never wants to draw a 4th one unless it's like a utility land like Pendlehaven or a Nexus. But keeping a 1-lander on the play, even with a Gataxian Probe, is probably a fine keep.
Yeah, because you draw off Gataxian Probe. You're on the draw.
No, Russell's on the play.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right.
No, he had a Gataxian Probe. He has a Blighted Agent in his hand, so he was probably hoping within 2 cards off the top of his deck he was going to hit another land to play it.
Yeah, he's got the Noble Hierarch, so he can drop that.
Well, he drew that.
Right. Oh, I see what you're saying for your initial keep. Yeah.
All right, there's the land. All right, we have a Blighted Agent. Kind of surprised Russell didn't swing in for 1. He must have like a Spell Pierce or something in his hand that he would rather hold up to protect his Blighted Agent. Oh yeah, I see a Spell Pierce in there. Okay.
And so we have an in-turn fetch, Watery Grave.
Alright, so Jalen's Kolaghan's Command looks kind of average here. I mean, it can definitely kill the Blighted Agent. The mode he'd probably pick is, kill Blighted Agent, make you discard a card. But the problem with making Infect discard cards is it just gets him closer to Become Immense, which will kill you. So
it's the Delve +6/+6.
And Trample. Give him the business. Alright, so it looks like Jalen has a Dispel in his hand.
Land for turn. Beautiful full art Zenagar Island.
Alright, so Russell has another Blighted Agent in his hand. I think he drew Vines of the Vast Sword. So, but that's also the power of Gataxian Probes in decks like Infect, is even though you're not taking a card out of their hand, and you do get to at least see what they have and play around it.
And information is very strong in a format like Modern.
Yeah, so Russell doesn't have a Spell Pierce, he has a Dispel, it looks like. So Jalen's going to pre-combat, play a Deceiver Exarch, tap down his Blighted Agent. Alright, and Russell plays the Spellskite to make sure he doesn't get twinned out. Now the problem is this makes the Culligan's Command in Jalen's hand look really good.
Destroy artifact.
Deal 2
Boulder
your
dude.
Yep,
Or
deal 2
shocker
your
dude, excuse me.
Blighted Agent. And that's gonna leave. Yeah, and he even gets to do it with the spell backup. This is pretty gross. Yep, so Russell's going to try to dispel here. Jalen's going to crack his fetch to spell back. I guess he can save his Blighted Agent with a Mutagenic Growth?
Yeah, make it a 3/3, take the 2 damage, falls off end of turn.
Yeah, Jalen's pretty free to just fetch for duels and shock himself as much as he wants. His life total's not... His actual life total is not under pressure. Alright, there's Russell's Dispel. And then return to Ravnica Dispel from Jalen. Yep, so the Culligan's Command still on the stack and resolves. Oh, so it looks like he destroyed an artifact and made him discard a card.
He's already low on his resources.
I mean, that's pretty bold, especially if you're going to tap out for that play. Because, I mean, the Blighted Agent is unblockable, so he can't just kill you right now. Yep, that's my Volt Corrosive, so right now it's 5 Infect. And that's 6 from Exalted.
And there it is.
Yep, and dead. Cannot be blocked. Take 12 Infect right on the nose.
Right, looks like we'll go to 3.
Russell forces a game 3 there. I feel like Jalen may have picked the wrong modes on his.
Yeah, because like even I mean, stripping the best card of their hand, you're always going to strip the worst card of their hand because they get to choose. And there's no haste creatures, I believe, in the Infect deck.
No.
So no matter what, you're always buying yourself a turn.
No, but I mean, it's.
I think killing the Blight Agent would have been the play.
Yeah, absolutely. All you need to do to make sure you do not die to this Infect deck is just make them shoot their guys. Just kill all their guys. If they end up using pump spells, to save their guys, that means it's the same thing as Burn using its burn spells to kill your creatures. Like, as long as it's not going upstairs, it's fine. So if they want to use all their, mutagenic growths and all their Might Old Corrosives to keep their guys from getting bolted, that's less infect that you have to worry about out of nowhere.
I can see him playing around, going for the discard, major mutagenic growth, like we discussed before, to save his guy. But that's a pump spell that he's not using against you.
Yeah, exactly. That's essentially +2 infect, like life that you're gaining.
Good.
I mean, there is a possibility, because Spellskite is a little confusing to players that are not familiar when it comes to multi-target spells.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it works in Judge Eurobred, so you can back me up on this. I believe as long as Spellskite is one of the targets, you cannot redirect the spell to Spellskite.
Yeah.
So if I was to, like we said, Culligan's Command, destroy an artifact, deal 2 to something else, he cannot change the 2 because he's already a target of that spell.
Yeah, because it says, I believe the text is change a spell's target to Spellskite.
Correct.
And he's already being targeted, so that would, because your target spell, he gets to choose which one. Yeah, that sounds right.
All right, so looks like Jalen's getting aggressive with his lands, putting him right in the middle.
The most common interaction we have come up with Spellskite is people try to direct things to Spellskite that it can't. Like, oh, counter target spell. Oh, redirect Spellskite. No, Spellskite has to be a legal target in order for you to redirect.
You can target it with Spellskite's ability. It will not do anything.
It won't work.
I've seen many people die to their own Spellskite when getting mind slavered. It's marvelous. Cast any spell.
Yeah, that could have just maybe he
Spellskite's a tricky one. They don't print cards like that anymore. I think they're trying to make cards face value much more simple. Maybe not necessarily for newer players, but for ease of play.
You can actually redirect both targets to Spellskite if he's a legal target. You can By activating Spell Sky's ability multiple times, you can change each target of a spell or ability with multiple instances of the word's target to Spell Sky, one at a time.
Oh, okay. So that's pretty cool, actually. So Jalen was on point there. We are wrong. I even have a Brad. I even have a judge in here. So, remand all the blighted agent. Yeah. So I think Jalen needs to take more of a control role. He definitely just needs to keep the board clear, and he can, just like in game one, kind of win at his leisure. Russell trying to put that blighted agent back into play. It resolves. Dude, Jalen looks like he has an awful lot of lands in his hand. Yep. Vulture guy. Just like we drew it up.
And a turn crack a fetch. Always fun not to take the bonus 2 off those shocks.
Yeah, but this is why Modern, among many reasons, Modern is one of my favorite formats. Like, the mana is just so good. You can do just about anything with a deck. You can play as many colors as you want, as few colors as you want.
Yeah, we saw someone earlier today, in between rounds, playing a 4-color toolbox deck. 4 colors is something that would be extremely hard to do in Standard, even with our 3-color stuff. Well, maybe not extremely in this current Standard, but in many Standards.
Sure.
But in Modern, it's just crack some lands, grab some shocks, play some temples if you're on that ad nauseum if you want. Play your check lands.
Yeah, Jalen with his 4th land, going to pass the turn back.
Yeah, something recent we've seen. Oh, and there's a deck seen with Wizards is they're not just printing half cycles anymore. We used to see a lot of allied cycles, maybe the occasional enemy cycle, but now all 10 check lands exist. We got all 10 shocks. We are currently in the middle of a 5 allied fetches. There's a lot of hope for the Zendikar fetches to come back for Battle for Zendikar.
Yeah, I don't really think they'll do that. But so this Gataxian Probe saw Splinter Twin, Snapcaster Mage,
Land.
Yeah, and a bunch of lands from Jalen. To be fair, his altars on his lands are super cool. I believe on the mountain there was an Iron Man, and I am a big fan of that fella. So, but it looks like Russell doesn't have a tremendous amount to play around. Like, he can Snapcaster I believe he has a Remand and a Lightning Bolt in his graveyard. Jalen does. So it would not be tremendously difficult for Russell to play around it. Remand after a certain point against this Infect deck just almost does nothing. All their spells are so cheap.
Basically just buying yourself a turn if it's his only creature, hoping to draw the other half of your combo.
No, but that's the thing is Russell can play any creature in his deck and just replay it if it gets remanded.
Yeah. Especially he's got the Ink Moth now too, so that can't get bounced by remand. He just needs buff spells.
Yep, just keep throwing those blighted agents out there. You got to work through all the lightning bolts. Yeah, but I assume a Snapcaster Bolt here. Just gonna let it happen. Like, he wants to get that lightning bolt out of there because I'm pretty sure he can just kill him with this Nexus. He just needs to get all the removal out of Jalen's hand.
Making him force those bolts is not necessarily that bad of a deal. You're feeding your Become Immense.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like Russell has a Noble Hierarch in hand. I can't tell if he has the Become Immense yet. Ooh. Another Nexus. That's good.
Animate the first one.
Right.
2/2 Infect currently.
Swing for 4 Infect? 5? Was the Exalted trigger? Nope, just 4.
4, yeah. +2/+2 mutagenic growth.
Oh, ooh,
+2/+2
6.
mutagenic growth. That's filling some yard. Does he have it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is going to be brutal.
Correct the
So,
fetch.
a Vines of the Vastwood kills him. A Become Immense kills him. There's a lot that... Yeah, just throw that forest any old way.
He's excited. There's something tasty in that hand, isn't there?
I mean, I actually like going all in.
Nope.
Yep, there's the Vines to kill him. So this is forcing Jalen to have a counterspell. Yeah, and he drew one. All right, well, I guess just take 6, I guess. That's cool.
Ooh.
Vapor Snag.
Vapor Snag.
Jeez.
Take your damage, sir, and return your creature to your hand.
Yeah, that Vapor Snag was really good.
I'm a big fan of Vapor Snag.
No, in this matchup, it's great. It's 1 mana, essentially a Time Walk / Mind Twist. Like, it took what, 3 cards out of Russell's hand? Splinter Twin on the Snapcaster for value. I like it. I mean, this gives him 2 Remands in the graveyard, so the first spell that Russell's going to cast is pretty much going to get Snap Remanded.
I may just save up for that Vapor Snag.
Oh, he has a Vapor Snag. Jalen is completely safe from any of Russell's shenanigans. Yep, just take
Didn't that Inkmoth
take the 2.
Oh no, he replayed it on the previous turn. Oh no, that was the second Inkmoth.
one.
You're right. He's just gonna take the 2 Infect.
All right, we have Jalen at 2 Infect. We don't necessarily have a Infect bar on our overlay yet, but it is on its way, ladies and gentlemen. Also, Star City needs to send me an email or a letter, perhaps. Tell me how you get that sweet Phyrexian poison symbol on your overlay. I want it bad. Patrick Sullivan, this is going out to you.
Shout out.
I'm going to send you a link on Facebook later. Better watch out. Well, just more removal spells to cast with this Snapcaster Mage. Jeez. Russell is looks like he's in pretty rough shape. So much value on the Snapcaster Mage Splinter Twin. Yeah, just so many lands, but it doesn't even matter, Jalen. We get it. We understand your plight. All right, 2 more Infect coming in. All right, guys, let's test out our impromptu poison display. Yeah, 4 Infect right there.
State of the art.
Got him. Oh, I see there was a Pendlehaven activation there. Or there's been 2, I guess, that we missed, so apologies. But it looks like Jalen is at 6 Infect.
It's a scary number. There's a lot of +4/+4.
Yeah, but I think Jalen still has the Vapor Snag in his graveyard. No, he doesn't. He just has a Terminate. But I mean, that's just as good. I believe Jalen's just waiting for him to go all in on something. He's trying to bait out of Vines for lethal and then kill it in response to the Vines. But if Russell draws this, he has a Vines in his hand. If he draws a second Vines of the Vastwood, Jalen's just dead. Unless he draws something pretty spicy off the top. Just more Splinter Twins. So I believe Jalen's hand now is land Splinter Twin, which doesn't do him an awful lot of good.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if Russell can eke out a win. Oh, man. All right, well, that's a lot of ink moths. And Russell has to dispel in hand. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Russell could win here if he knew that Jalen was sitting on actually nothing. Yep, swing with both. And he's dead. Oh, my apologies. Jalen was at 9 Infect that last turn. Again, we must have missed something with me trying to make a Infect overlay. But looks like Russell McCord with Infect will take this match 2-0. over Jalen Gillum.
Jalen with a very strong start, but just flooded out.
Yeah, he flooded out. Also, like, I've seen this happen in just Red Blue Twin or Grixis Twin or whatever, but whenever they're putting their Splinter Twins on their Snapcasters, they're in dire straits. That is not what you want to be doing with that card. You want to put that card on the table and go, ha, you're dead.
I mean, he got a lot of value out of flashing back those
No,
spells.
sure, absolutely. It was not terrible.
But it was a delay.
Yeah, it's not what you want to be doing with it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree. Showing the Vapor Snag here. Next level plays.
Oh, yeah, that Vapor Snag was insane when he cast it. Like I said, it took 3 cards out of Russell's hand and set him back a land drop. Like, that is gross.
Yeah. Look at all the answers I didn't draw. It's unfortunate.
No, absolutely. But, you know, that's the game we play. Sometimes you draw all the lands. Sometimes you draw none of the lands. Happens.
Sometimes you have that perfect magical Christmas land 7.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say. But for every time that you draw all the lands or none of the lands, there's 2 times that you have a super sweet game of Magic. So that's, I mean, we wouldn't play it otherwise. All right, so that was Modern Mondays here at the Wasteland. We will be back. Our next stream, I believe we are going to try a Cardfight Vanguard stream on Wednesday. Brad and I will not be there. I know actual nothing about Cardfight Vanguard, so
As do I.
So, but we will be back on Thursday, and you guys will have Brad and Nathan Satterfield in the booth. He's actually table spotting out there right now, telling us that we sound great and giving us nothing but compliments. It's wonderful. Yeah. He's a nice guy.
That has to be sincere.
I certainly hope so. I would not imagine otherwise. So yeah, those guys will be in there on Thursday. I will be doing tech work and getting ready for Saturday. Speaking of Saturday, Brad, what is on Saturday? What are you doing on Saturday?
Well, I will be at Santa Fe Mall,
shopping,
commentating.
Well, commentating.
Commentating on a fantastic event. Who is? I believe the Wasteland is hosting the
I heard of them.
SCG Regionals.
Yes, absolutely. So doors open at 9 a.m. All the information is on either our website, our Facebook page, or Star City's website.
We also have a link to the event actually on the Twitch page.
Yes, scroll down. Click on the flag that says Regionals. You can do it. I believe in you. Yeah, absolutely. It is a standard tournament. We were expecting between 300 and 400 people. So there's going to be a ton of people from this side of the country all battling it out for many, many cash dollars, many trophies.
Beautiful trophies.
We're also having side events the whole day on Saturday. Yeah, the trophies are gorgeous looking. We also have playmats, tokens, all kinds of stuff. And also, Brad, I, Nathan, and a yet to be determined secret guest commentator,
mystery guest,
will be there in the booth, telling you guys that can't make it or would rather watch us in the Pro Tour. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Telling you what's going on at the regionals at the Wasteland. So, Brad, is there anything else you want to throw in?
No, I think we did well tonight.
Tell them thank you, Brad, for watching.
I do thank you. You guys have been great. We're getting a bunch of views. We grow bigger every week. We're bringing in lots of people. We had a lot more people at Modern this week than last week.
People are coming out of the woodworks, playing Modern, playing Standard. It's great. I would like to personally thank you guys for watching. So we have a coupon code for you for 10% off anything at thewastelandgaming.com. You can see it in our overlay. You can see it on our playmat. There's links all over the place. I'm sure you can find it. For 10% off any purchase, just type in the coupon code STREAM, which is what you're watching right now. You guys can do it. Put 2 and 2 together. I believe in you. For 10% off anything you want. Playmats, deck boxes, sleeves, cards, Tarmogoyfs, whatever you want. 10% off a Tarmogoyf does not seem bad.
That's some value.
Many dollars.
Many dollars.
All right, so from us here at the Wasteland,
I'm Brad Venslake.
And I'm Jeff Stouter, and you guys have a great night.
Thanks again.